Three major religions hid the truth about fallen angels for 1,000 years. Shocking evidence, the banned Book Vatican removed from the Bible. Angels who fell in love. What if everything you've been taught about angels and demons is a carefully crafted lie? What if there's an ancient book so dangerous that it was banned from the Bible? A text that reveals secrets about the origin of evil that would make you question everything you thought you knew about faith. Buckle up, because what you're about to discover will shatter the foundation of what they call sacred truth. The Catholic Church doesn't want you to know about the Book of Enoch. Why? Because it tells a completely different story about fallen angels that would blow your mind. Forget everything you've heard about Lucifer rebelling out of pride. The truth is way more disturbing and empowering. The Watchers, a group of angels, didn't rebel because of arrogance. They fell because they fell in love. They came down to earth, seduced by the daughters of men, and violated the natural order of the universe to satisfy their desires. But here's what's going to explode your understanding. These angels didn't just bring destruction. They brought forbidden knowledge. They taught witchcraft, metallurgy, astrology, weapons manufacturing, and even cosmetics. Think about it, every piece of technology and mystical knowledge we have today might trace back to this rebellion born from love. The Nephilim giants born from these unions weren't just monsters, they were hybrid beings carrying both divine and human DNA. What does this mean for you personally? It means that the forbidden knowledge you're drawn to, whether it's meditation, astrology, or alternative spiritual practices, might be the same wisdom these beings brought down. The church demonized this knowledge because it gives you personal power. It frees you from dependence on religious institutions that want to control your spiritual journey. Here's the game changer. You weren't born a sinner. You were corrupted by external influences. But you also received divine gifts that traditional religion wants to hide from you. Every time you practice self-discovery, every time you question dogma, every time you seek truth outside approved channels, you're accessing this ancient inheritance from the Watchers. The difference between you and them is choice. They had the knowledge, but lost control. You have both the knowledge and the power to choose how to use it. That meditation app on your phone? That astrology chart you secretly check? That gut feeling that tells you there's more to spirituality than Sunday sermons? That's your Watcher DNA awakening. But here's what they failed to understand. That you must. Knowledge without wisdom leads to destruction. Power without purpose leads to chaos. The Watchers gave humanity fire, but they forgot to teach us how not to burn down the house. Action step. Think about a skill or knowledge that completely transformed your life. Maybe it was learning to code, discovering therapy, or even finding a spiritual practice that clicked. Now reflect. How did that knowledge give you personal power? How did it free you from previous limitations? You're experiencing the same type of awakening the Watchers brought to humanity. The difference is you get to choose what to do with it. Every day, you make choices that either elevate you toward your divine potential or drag you down into the chaos that consumed the Watchers. The knowledge is yours. The power is yours. The choice is yours. If you feel like there's more to your spiritual journey than what you've been spoon-fed, if you suspect the answers you're looking for are hidden in the places you were told not to look, then smash that like button right now. Drop Watchers in the comments if you're ready to discover what truths have been buried by the guardians of traditional faith. And if you want to uncover more secrets that literally change the course of human history, hit subscribe, because what's coming next will revolutionize everything you thought you knew about spirituality and your own divine potential. Why 2 billion Muslims know the devil? Truth that Christians are clueless about. Did you know that Islam has 1.8 billion followers and a completely different understanding of evil that makes Western Christianity look like a children's fairy tale? While the West created horror stories about demon armies and eternal hell, Islam guards a secret about celestial rebellion that's way more disturbing because it's way more personal. And when you understand the story of Iblis, you'll realize that your daily struggle isn't against external forces, it's against something much more intimate and dangerous. Picture this: God creates Adam and commands all celestial beings to bow in respect to the first human. Everyone obeys except one, Iblis. But here's the detail that changes everything. Iblis wasn't an angel. He was a jinn, a creature of fire with free will, exactly like you. And his response when questioned about his disobedience reveals the poison that destroys more lives than any drug. I am better than him. You created me from fire, and him from clay. Sound familiar? It's the same feeling that makes you roll your eyes when someone less qualified gets the promotion you deserved. It's what makes you feel superior when you see someone making a mistake you'd never make. It's that silent whisper that says, I deserve better, when you scroll through social media looking at other people's highlight reels. Iblis wasn't cast out of paradise for wanting power, he was expelled for believing he deserved more respect. And here's what should terrify you. After his expulsion, he didn't swear to destroy humanity. He swore to prove that humans are unworthy of divine love, by seducing them into showing the same arrogance that condemned him. Every time you feel envy, every time you compare yourself to others, every time your ego whispers that you're too good for certain situations, you're hearing Iblis's voice. The devastating difference between Christianity and Islam is that Christianity makes you fear an external enemy, but Islam forces you to confront the enemy living inside your own head. Here's the brutal truth. The real magic isn't in rituals or spells, it's in your ability to recognize when your own pride is sabotaging your life. How many opportunities have you lost because you thought you were too good for certain situations? How many relationships have you destroyed because you couldn't admit you were wrong? How many times has your arrogance cost you more than any curse ever could? Think about your last job interview where you didn't get hired, your last relationship that ended badly, your last friendship that turned sour. Now be brutally honest. How much of that failure came from external circumstances? And how much came from your inability to humble yourself when it mattered most? Action step. Think about the last time you felt angry or frustrated because someone less deserving got something you wanted. For 5 minutes, be ruthlessly honest with yourself. What you really felt wasn't righteous indignation about injustice, but wounded pride because you weren't recognized as superior. That's Iblis's test working in real time, and most people fail it every single day without even realizing it. The real spiritual battle isn't against demons or external entities. It's against the version of yourself that believes you deserve more admiration, more recognition, more love than you're currently receiving. And this battle happens dozens of times every day, in every interaction, in every thought of comparison, in every moment when you choose between humility and ego. The Islamic understanding reveals something Christianity missed. Your greatest spiritual enemy isn't some horned creature in a lake of fire, it's your own wounded ego disguised as healthy self-esteem. And until you recognize that voice and learn to silence it, you'll keep sabotaging your own happiness while blaming external forces. If you recognized Iblis's voice in your own thoughts, if you understood that your most dangerous spiritual enemy is your own disguised arrogance, then hit that like button. Drop pride in the comments if you're ready to face the most dangerous adversary that exists, the one living in your own heart. And subscribe to discover how other spiritual traditions identified and fought the same poison that's been destroying lives for millennia. Judaism reveals, Satan is not your enemy. You'll be shocked. What if I told you that Satan isn't your enemy, but your most demanding teacher? That the religion that demonized this figure for centuries hid a truth that could completely transform your relationship with suffering, challenges, and even your own shadow. Get ready to discover why Judaism, the source that Christianity and Islam drew from, has a view of Satan that will explode everything you thought you knew about good and evil. In original Judaism, Satan isn't even a name, it's a job description. Ha-Satan literally means the adversary or the accuser. And here's the plot twist that will change your perspective forever. He works for God, not against him. Satan is the heavenly prosecutor who tests the sincerity of your faith, the obstacle that forces you to prove your convictions are genuine. Remember the story of Job? Satan doesn't attack Job out of malice, he makes a bet with God. He questions whether Job's faithfulness is genuine or just the result of comfortable circumstances. And God authorizes the test. This changes everything, because it means your biggest challenges aren't random punishments or attacks, they're customized exams designed for your spiritual growth. Every obstacle in your life is an invitation to prove your inner strength. That betrayal that shattered your heart? The test of your capacity for forgiveness? That workplace injustice? The exam of your integrity under pressure? That illness that haunts you? The proof of your faith when everything seems lost? The Jewish perspective reveals something revolutionary. You're not a victim of circumstances, you're the protagonist of a personalized cosmic test. Satan doesn't whisper temptations in your ear to destroy you. He creates situations that reveal who you really are when nobody's watching. This explains why some people transform into diamonds under pressure, while others shatter completely. The difference isn't in the intensity of the test, but in understanding that every adversary is actually a teacher in disguise. When you shift your perspective on challenges from, "Why is this happening to me?" to "What is this trying to teach me?" you transmute suffering into wisdom. The real magic is recognizing that your greatest growth comes from your worst moments. Think about the wisest people you know. Their stories aren't of easy lives. They're of people who learned to extract gold from the ashes of their failures. Here's what will change your life. Every person who betrayed you was teaching you about boundaries. Every failure was teaching you about resilience. Every loss was teaching you about what truly matters. Every moment of darkness was teaching you to find your own light. Satan's job isn't to destroy you, it's to reveal the strength you didn't know you had. The problem is most people resist the teacher because they don't recognize the lesson. They waste years in bitterness, victimhood, and blame, instead of asking the one question that transforms everything. What is this adversary trying to awaken in me? Action step. Identify the biggest challenge you're facing right now. Instead of resisting or complaining, ask yourself, what inner strength is this adversary trying to awaken in me? Write down 3 qualities you need to develop to overcome this situation. You just transformed your problem into your personal teacher, and your suffering into your curriculum for greatness. What Judaism understood and Christianity forgot is that darkness isn't your enemy, it's the contrast that makes your light shine brighter. Every shadow you face is an opportunity to discover a light you didn't even know you possessed. If you understood that your greatest adversaries are your greatest masters, if you recognize that every challenge is an invitation to become a stronger version of yourself, smash that like button right now. Drop adversary in the comments if you're ready to face your obstacles as opportunities for growth. And subscribe to discover how to transform every struggle into a lesson and every fall into a stepping stone for your rebirth. The final truth all religions hid about your divine power. After everything we've revealed about the Watchers, Iblis, and Satan, here's the final truth that will either liberate or terrify you. The power they represent isn't in celestial heights or infernal depths, it's in your daily choices. And this is exactly the truth that every organized religious structure fears you'll discover, because the moment you understand this, you don't need intermediaries between you and the divine anymore. Every tradition we explored shows you the same truth from different angles. The Book of Enoch warns about knowledge without wisdom, Islam about the seduction of arrogance, Judaism about the necessity of adversaries, but they all converge on a blind spot that organized religions have hidden for millennia. You are the creator of your own spiritual experience. The fall isn't a historical event that happened in the past. It's a process that happens every time you choose fear over faith, victimization over empowerment, dependency over personal responsibility. And redemption isn't something that happens after death. It happens every time you choose to rise above your own limitations. The real cosmic battle happens inside your consciousness every second. When you wake up in the morning, you choose between gratitude and complaint. When someone hurts you, you choose between revenge and forgiveness. When you fail, you choose between self-destruction and learning. These aren't trivial choices, they're decisions that literally create your spiritual reality. What the fallen angel narratives really represent are the parts of you that have potential to both create and destroy. The Watcher's forbidden knowledge is your ability to question authorities and seek truth on your own. Iblis's pride is your willpower that can either elevate you or isolate you. Satan's test is your ability to transform obstacles into opportunities. You don't need complex rituals. You don't need permission from religious leaders. You don't need to wait for external salvation. The most powerful magic in the universe is your conscious ability to choose who you want to be in every moment. And that choice recreates you instantly. Here's what most people miss. Every spiritual tradition, every religion, every philosophy is just a menu of choices. But you're the one who has to eat the meal. You can study every holy book, attend every service, follow every guru. But until you make the conscious choice to embody the principles that resonate with your soul, you're just a spiritual tourist collecting experiences instead of transformation. Life-changing action step. Right now, identify one area of your life where you feel stuck or victimized. It could be a toxic relationship, a job you hate, a financial situation that's crushing you. Instead of focusing on the problem, focus on the choice you have within that situation. What action, no matter how small, can you take today to exercise your personal power? Execute that action within the next 24 hours. You just practiced real magic conscious transformation of reality through deliberate choice. Your spiritual journey isn't about finding the right path, it's about creating your unique path through your courageous choices. You don't need to be saved, you need to wake up. You don't need to be forgiven, you need to take responsibility. You don't need protection from evil, you need to integrate your own shadows. The fallen angels, Iblis, and Satan aren't external forces to fear, their internal dynamics to master. The Watcher's rebellion represents your power to seek forbidden truth. Iblis's pride represents your need to balance confidence with humility. Satan's testing represents your ability to find strength in struggle. Every single day, you're writing the scripture of your own life through your choices. Every decision is a verse. Every action is a prayer. Every choice is a spell that shapes your reality. The question isn't whether you believe in God, it's whether you believe in your own power to choose divinity over destruction, love over fear, growth over stagnation. If this message awakens something in you, if you recognize that the power you've been seeking was always in your hands, slam that like button and drop choice in the comments. Share this with someone who's also ready to take complete responsibility for their own spiritual journey. And subscribe, because we'll keep exploring truths that transform victims into creators of their own reality. And trust me, once you taste that level of personal power, you'll never go back to being a spiritual passenger in your own life.